All right, folks, back on the Bossman Show. You see a new coach here. High Point, my guy, Coach Flynn Clayman on the Bossman Show, the high performance out of the Big South Conference. Coach, good to talk to you, man. How you doing, brother?
Doing all right, brother. How you doing? Thanks for having me on.
I'm great, man. Just in the midst of some off season with the Hawks, but doing Braves baseball, so I'm grinding, still grinding, brother.
Nice, nice. Good to
Hey,
hear.
let me ask you this, man. How's it been this whirlwind for you, man? Getting this head coaching job, just jumping right into it from Coach Huss to you, man. How's it been for you, brother?
Well, I mean, it still feels a little surreal to be the head coach at High Point University. It's such a special place. It's one thing to become a head coach, it's another thing to become a head coach here. This is a truly special university and setup. So it almost doesn't feel real. I think it'll feel a little more real when we start getting to scouting reports and opponents, and the competition is staring down your face. But so far, it's been pretty smooth. I mean, for a place to become a first-time head coach, I couldn't ask for a better setup. And the support we have here is great. So I would say overall, it has been a lot. There's a lot more on your plate than you're used to as an assistant coach. You think you're ready before you move over that one chair, but a lot comes at you fast that you're not ready for. But there's nowhere better equipped to help a first-time head coach than High Point. So I think it's going pretty solid so far. I like what we've been doing.
No doubt, man. And Flynn, let me ask his brother, as with you being, that you being the first year head coach, how have people trying to schedule you now since you're the first time head coach, trying to, or they're still kind of scared of you, man, because they know you all been good so long. So how's that been trying to schedule these games, man?
We again, like we have some good setup where we can play a good amount of home games. So, we are bringing people into our gym, but it's been tough trying to get a high major opponent. We've been trying to do that for 2 years, and it's last year we it was really impossible to get. And then I thought maybe along the lines of what you were saying that I could maybe grab one. We'd like our guys to go play a high major game, but it's been tough to schedule those. But I would say along the mid-major lines, we've had some really good games on our schedule, some really good neutral floor games against some good opponents. So we will have some nice games on our schedule, but we're still looking for that high major opponent if we can find it. If not, then we got to just get back to March again and give it another crack.
Hear that, man. And speaking of that, man, for you, talk about this period of time in summertime where you build these bricks now to get ready for the season, the peak in February and March when it counts the most. So talk about these workouts you're going to be having, getting the team in, and just kind of build on what you've built the past 2 years there and keep on this thing rolling.
Yeah. I mean, we've got all our guys here. We're in our third week of summer right now. So we already put in 2 full weeks. And we got our recruiting class done relatively early. So our guys were all here for summer school. And we're rocking and rolling right now. And just, our summer looks similar to how we had it under Coach Huss. A lot of skill development, a lot of work on our offense, a lot of work on our motion, with some touches on what we want to do defensively. But we're not trying to kill all birds with one stone. Like we just got to lock in on trying to get good at a couple things this summer and not try to master everything. And then really most importantly for the summer that it was under Coach Huss and it will stay the same under me, it's just individual player development is the most important thing to having a good offensive basketball team. We can draw up whatever plays we want, but if guys can't make the shots, it doesn't matter at the end of the day. So we put a ton of time into that, and a lot of time into our sort of free play motion offense, which will be very similar to what we've been doing the last couple years.
No doubt. And coach, I also want to ask you about the nutrition piece of it, getting the weight room and getting guys to learn how to recover and sleep well because you play a long season. You don't want to run out of gas. Talk about how important it is to get these guys out there on the track and get them in the weight room and get them eating right with so how important your strength guy is, your nutritionist guy, and also your training staff to keep these guys upright.
Yeah, I mean, our training staff is unbelievable. They're working around the clock. Our strength coach, Will Sullivan, does a tremendous job with our guys on the nutrition part. I mean, just like what I was saying earlier, our guys have every resource to kind of keep their weight up. I mean, they can go eat at a five-star steakhouse after practice with their meal swipes on at High Point University on campus. So we don't have many issues with guys' body attrition throughout the season because they're eating pretty good and they're well resourced from that standpoint, and we stay on top of that. From we weigh before practice, after practice. We're doing force plate testing daily to see if guys are losing anything in terms of their force, and if we need to tone things back or pick things up. So we stay on top of all that. But our guys see big gains in the summer in the weight room and putting on weight, and that's part of the individual development. It's not just the basketball skills piece; it's the body piece. It's being in shape because we want to play fast, we want to run, and we want to be hectic defensively this year, and that requires being in pretty good shape.
No doubt, man. And I'm asking you about how you feel approaching these conference games. I know they come at you fast, so and you all get two days in between the Big South, or y'all get one day in between.
Usually it's 2 days. There might be a change of format. What we have is, we have a little bit of a unique situation where if you get picked to be on ESPNU for that game, then they'll move your Wednesday game to Thursday. So then you would play again Saturday. So if you get picked for that game, you have a 1 day break instead of 2 day. And then obviously with us just having the success we've had the last couple of years, we do usually get picked. We got picked for three of the 6 games last year. But there might be some changes to that, but it's been 2 days the last couple of years, generally speaking. And it's the Big South's a good league because everything's driving distance. You're home the night of the game. There's no hopping on planes for your conference season, which is a nice luxury coming from like the Big Sky Conference and the WAC conference that I was in, where you're on a plane going to all over the place every week. It can wear on you a little bit. So we're kind of lucky in the Big South with game prep and travel. It's a good locational league where we can get to spots pretty easily.
Yeah, and I was thinking about this, if it was a 1 day prep, but when you playing fast, you got to really kind of the same game might be a little bit tricky. But with having 2 days off, you kind of recover and prepare the right way, so you don't have to really just cram it in and then hope for the best on that Saturday. Because some of the leagues who play Thursday night then play Saturday afternoons, like it's pretty much a back to back, but not really. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
Yeah, and that stuff, I mean, it matters, but I think it's a little overblown in terms of like, oh, we need 2 days to prepare versus 1 day to prepare. Like at the end of the day, if your guys are by the time you're in conference, like your guys have a pretty good idea of what you want to do offensively, what you want to do defensively. There are some scout specific things, but we had a couple of those games this year where we had a 1 day and they didn't, and it was pretty standard. I would say I didn't see a big difference in we had a less of a prep. I think coaches sometimes put a little bit too much, thinking that their prep matters more than maybe it does. I mean, your guys at that point pretty much are prepared to play good basketball or they're not, and I think guys just being connected and being able to play well together is the most important thing, and that reduces the importance of like the intricacies of your prep. We do prep, we do really get into details, we really look at numbers, we look at every single thing about our opponent, but how much of that really impacts your guys when the ball tips up? They're getting out there, they're playing to either they're sharing the ball and playing together and playing hard, or they're not, and that's pretty much going to determine whether you have a good outing out there or not.
And coach, Flynn, I'm gonna ask his man, brother, tell me about how tough the Big South is every night, man. Because with you all were the hunted every night, so to get everybody's best shot every night. Talk about how tough the league is, top to bottom. But with you all being success you had, been everybody's Super Bowl pretty much. We want to beat high points. How was that going through that and just knowing that with your guys now that hey, we're still the hunted. Everybody wants to come gun in for us now.
hmm I mean, first of all, what Coach Huss did with our program last year was it was the toughest thing to do, where you're pretty much a unanimous favorite to win the league in the preseason, and everyone's kind of picking you and telling you how great you are, and then you go out there and back it up. That's really the hardest thing to do. That's my second time being in that position. That also happened to us at Southern Utah. It was a very similar situation. We had won the regular season, lost in a semifinal game as the 1 seed in overtime, very similar, and we were the unanimous favorite the next year. And that was just a very, very tough place to be because yes, everyone's gunning at you and everyone's telling your guys how great they are. And these, at the end of the day, these are still kids. And even for us adults, if people are running around telling you how great you are, it's hard to keep your edge. It's hard to stay on top. Coach Huss did a phenomenal job of keeping that urgency every day with our guys. the Big South Conference is a really good conference. I don't think people realize how good it's been the last couple of years. Obviously, we've done our part in that, but other teams have been very good from top to bottom, really. There's no easy nights in the Big South. And the league has been in the top right around the middle of conferences in terms of what has been ranked, right around 15 to 17 the last 2 years out of 32 leagues, which is the best that the Big South has been. We've done our part and other teams have tried to match, and that's a beautiful thing. And they're all trying to kind of we're all trying to compete against each other, and it's kind of raising the level of each program and the conference. So, I think we did a good showing in the tournament last year. We were a 13 seed. We really gave Purdue a good run. We represented the conference well. I don't think it'll be long before a Big South school is winning a game or two in the tournament. I think that's the next step for this league.
No doubt. And I'm gonna ask you this, Coach Lynn, speaking of your program, when you go out with recruiting guys who come in, whether it be a portal guy or a high school kid, what are you looking for in a young man on and off the floor to be a part of your program that really represents High Point Panthers the right way?
hmm It's tough. I mean, if I'm being honest, it's tough to really make those right decisions now. It's tougher than ever because a lot of recruitment is just a very quick sort of thing that happens. You can be on a phone with a kid for the first time one day, and they could be committed to your school a few days later when you're talking portal. When you're talking high school kids, you're probably looking a little more along the lines of, okay, who's a kid that we want to kind of build around over a few years? Is this kid a kid who probably would want to stick around? What things are important to him? Is High Point University, the education that he's receiving, which is a high level education here, is that important? You know, so you're kind of looking at different things when you're talking about transfers and freshmen. But one thing that's standard is we're looking for kids who are unselfish, kids who are winners, kids who have high character. When I say high character, I'm not saying they don't make mistakes in life. All kids do, and all adults do, but kids who are about their teammates, about this university, understand that being a college basketball player is not about them. They're representing something bigger than themselves. Those kind of kids are kids that we can work with. And then from a skill standpoint, we do want to play skilled basketball. So the ability to dribble, pass, shoot. We would like to have five guys on the floor at all times that can do that. That gets hard sometimes. Well, the last 2 years, we've had at least four guys on the floor who could do those things at all times. And I think our roster this year, we're going to be looking at a lot of our minutes. We're going to have five guys who are dribble, pass, shooting. So, you combine that character piece with just the skill piece, and then we can work through pretty much any other problems.
No doubt, man. Let me ask you this, man. If having five guys on the floor that can shoot the ball, and it's caused so much conflict for the defense, and you have to really decide what do you want to do? Do I really don't want to hard hedge it? Do I want to flat hedge it? Do I want to stun them? Do I want to switch it? It's just talk about having that optionality to make defense have to really think about what scheme am I going to run, how I'm going to play the ball screen or the off ball actions.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's a lot of times especially for a big guy, you're when you're doing your prep, like you're talking about before, all of a sudden it's something that coaches and players get worried about. Like, oh, we really got to worry about this guy can shoot the ball, or we really got to worry that this big man can get the ball and bring it up court like a point guard and play in a ball screen. Like Kamani Hamilton was like our four man, you could say, the last couple of years, but he really played the point guard for us, at 6'8", and that was something that people weren't seeing often. And we put him in ball screens, and people would want to whatever coverage they showed. He was skilled enough and smart enough to kind of make a play out of it. And then if we have that at the center position, also you can imagine the problems that would cause. If you look at the NBA game, a lot of it's very positionless. A lot of it's just read and react in space. And your five man might be in the corner, he might be up top, he might be on the wing, and we do a lot of work on just different different reads out of bigs being in those spots, but you can use a big man who can't shoot a lot of times, even on the perimeter, if he's smart and understands how to get playing handoffs and sprint into step ups and whatnot. So it just adds a different look to what other teams are preparing for, and a lot more college teams are going to sort of a five out sort of NBA style look. And I'm sure defenses will adjust, but it's just a tougher thing to guard. I mean, and that's why folks are going to it.
No doubt. I love to bring in that 5 man for their short roll and pop him to that weak side corner, let him do a corner dash for a layup. So you're
Yeah.
right. You put the big man out of play in the ball screen in the middle, he can't shoot. He can be very
Yep.
effective and get the defense to collapse, and you got an open shot, open three or open layup, depending on how you want to play it.
Correct. Correct.
It's a beautiful thing, man. 'Cause I see the NBA game all the time. That's what I do with the Hawks every night. Seeing them play, so trust me, I love seeing it. That point five mentality, move that ball and just make a quick decision and get it, and go, make that thing pop.
Yeah, and I think the other positive to it is when you play that style, obviously you have to have the right personnel to do it, and High Point has the resources to get the players that can play that style. Let's be honest about that. But what's positive about it is kids want to play in that because they all want to get to the next level, whether it's professionally in Europe or in the NBA. If you're playing a similar style to what they're going to need to do at the next level, I think that does help you in the recruiting process and makes it an easier sell to parents and kids.
That's what I got for you, brother. Is this one, man? What kind of got you into coaching? I know you had a playing career as well. So what kind of was your trigger to get into coaching and wanting to impact young men's lives the way you are now?
Yeah, I mean, I had a long journey of playing. I played for a lot of really, really great coaches. I felt the impact they had on my life from even before high school, just with people that I was working with growing up in LA, some high level guys who played in the NBA and whatnot. I was really blessed to be around a lot of great basketball minds where I grew up. And from that, it just kind of led to a love for the game. And that led me on a journey of college, professionally overseas. I had some serious injury problems. Had a total hip replacement actually already, which is something that most people wouldn't have until they're 70, 80 years old. So I had a degenerative hip that kind of ended my deal. But the process of playing taught me a lot. The countries I played overseas, the coaches I played for, and then coaching, I was kind of just deciding what am I do next with my life. So you're ending playing and you're kind of at that crossroads of like, what am I going to do next? I knew I loved the game of basketball. So I came to be a graduate assistant. Well, first I coached in Australia, which was an awesome opportunity. Very blessed to have that opportunity. And then from that, I became a graduate assistant at Southern Utah. At the time, I wasn't sure that I wanted to be a college coach. I wasn't sure exactly what I was going to do. Was I going to just use my degree to do something else? Whatever. And then while I was there, I saw that this was a good profession for me. Saw that I had a way with the kids. I saw that they had a respect for me. I saw that I could be good at this, and then I saw that I loved it just as much, or if not more, than playing. The thing about coaching that I like is that I always felt like as a player, it was all about you. You always had to be worried about your sleep, your diet, your am I getting enough shots up? Like you have to kind of have a selfish mentality daily to compete at the professional basketball level. And I'm not talking about selfish in terms of your teammates, but selfish in terms of your time. You have to invest in a massive amount of time and resources into your body to continue to be able to play at that level. What I like about coaching is it takes equal or not equal, it takes more time, but your time is pouring into these kids. And winning, of course, that benefits the coaching staff, but kids learn so much throughout the process and they become winners through that process. So that's the part that's a little more rewarding to me about coaching. And then I've just been really blessed to have two really good bosses and kind of just move up, quick. And it's a blessing I only decided to coach about 9 years ago. And the first 2 years I was a graduate assistant. So to have this opportunity at the age of 36, it's truly a blessing. And, we'll see if we can keep it rolling here.
No doubt, man. Well, I'm glad to meet you. I'm glad that you got this job, and I'm glad somebody around my age ready to talk to him the show. So we got to do this again really soon. And I hope to see you at either Lake Point or the Peach Jam. I'll be there. So anything you need from me, brother, I'm here to help you out, man. I'm looking forward to your journey and success down the road, brother.
Appreciate you. Yep, we'll definitely be down there at Lake Point. So let's link up.
100%. Put that to man.
Yeah, appreciate you too.